Hi guys, Matt here with my tutorial video for my IGF submission, Savage the Shard of Gosen. Thanks for playing, and yeah, let's just jump right into it, shall we? Real quick, let me show you how to set up the options. For starters, the controls, by default, they kind of follow the conventions of older RPGs found on things like NES and Super Nintendo. We've got two main buttons and two function buttons, a select start, attack, jump. The attack is also cancel or go back within the menu system. Jump is also confirm or move forward within the menu system. By default, jump is space on the keyboard. Attack is the A key on the keyboard. The select key is S. The enter key is start. So yeah, there you have it. If you're playing on a gamepad, like a 360 gamepad, attack is the X button, jump is the A button, and you can configure those within this menu here. Setup controls, you can remap the keyboard any way you like. Same thing with the gamepad. Go back. You can play around with the other settings if you want. Start a new game. Throughout the game, you'll see dialogue screens like this. Just hit the jump button to move forward. Also, the jump button to enter a name for your character. By default, it's Kel. You can hit the select button to toggle the caps lock. I'll start a game here, and this is the intro screen here, or the introductory kind of story sequence. So I'll show you more of the dialogue sequences here. It does have branching dialogue trees, so we can select what to do, and within this sort of scenario, depending on what you say and what you do, will yield different results. So there will be a slightly different outcome. So use the attack button to, well, attack. You see damage numbers popping up there. That was embarrassing. I took a dive. I'll do this real quick. Break out of the chains. Yeah, you can duck, jump, attack. Pretty standard stuff for an action platformer. That blue button that pops up is experience points, and those are allocated to pieces of gear that you have. So the gear is what really levels up. You can level up your base stats if you just have your fists equipped, and that will increase your strength and your toughness. I picked up a skill there. We learned wall jump. So yeah, to use the wall jump, we just push ourselves jump into a wall and hit the jump button. Pretty standard stuff again for this kind of game. So move over one screen and I'll show you some of the gear. Picked up some armor there. If we hit start, by default we will go into the menu screen with the inventory and stuff, hit equip, and highlight the desired field, and you can equip or unequip items. Same thing with the armor here. The shields are not yet in this build. This is an alpha build, so most of the features are in place, but things are very rough, and there are things that are missing. Here we have the items screen, the different tabs at the top. We've got consumables, weapons, armor. There's the quest system, skills. So here in the quest system, when you get a quest, go to this tab, and it will kind of tell you what to do or give you hints. Config, just like at the title screen. Saving, the game does not have its own save system yet. I use Game Maker's save system, which can be a little finicky at times, but to save your game, hit F5. To load the game, hit F6, and pray that it works, essentially. So yeah, let's move out here, and I'll show you some more of the pickups and things. So as you level up gear and weapons, each piece of gear can be leveled up to a max level of 3, and when you hit 3, you kind of mastered that piece of gear, and Kel, or the player, will learn a skill that either aids in combat or platforming permanently. So it's encouraged to seek out all the different pieces of gear and weapons and things and level them up and master each one that you can find. Right now, the skill system is not quite in place. There are some things you can do with it. But yeah, here we see the fetish system, which sounds dirty and nasty, but fetish refers to totems or carvings of deities and things like that. And with the fetish system, we raised our favor when we pick up a fetish. We go into items. You can see we have other items in here now. Right now we have the meat equipped. And real quick to show you how to use an item that's equipped in that green box up there, hold up and hit attack. When we get throwing weapons, they will be equipped in the two red squares you see up there. Same thing. You use the select button to toggle which sub-slot you have equipped and hit up, and then push attack to use whatever your sub-cursor is over. So yeah, let's move over here and check some stuff out. Collect 3 of these things. You will get another hit point or another skull piece added to your life at the top. Armor also, those squares that are kind of covering the skulls, that's your armor points, and those will deplete when you take damage. If you don't have any armor points, then the skulls will be directly affected. Regardless of how many max armor points the piece of armor you have is, it can only go up to your max hit points, so it will never exceed that. I picked up a player fetish there. We talked about the fetish system briefly. The player fetish stuff, those are basically the vanilla flavored fetishes. They act as the one-ups, essentially. Here we have some consumables. We'll pick that up. We got fireweed. We got berserk potion. So with fireweed, I'll use that by hitting up and attack. And now I have the fireweed buff, which increases my base strength, making damage output a little higher. Real quick, I'll show you the berserk potion. So I'll go into items, use the context menu to equip it. Conversely, too, you can just go to use. And that is essentially like a collecting a star in Mario or something. It's invincibility for a short time. Okay, another dialogue screen. And we just got our first quest. We'll go check the quests tab. And yeah, hunt down the Argeshi dog catcher somewhere in the south. So this is basically the only quest scenario that's in the game just now. Here on the overworld, there's a few different things we can do. Hit the jump button to enter an area. These are somewhat procedurally generated. Not all of it has been fleshed out yet, but it does randomize enemy placement and tile sets and things and music and objects and stuff like that. And there's a variety of different formations of platforms and things. So yeah, you go into something that says animal tracks. The animals will have a higher chance of dropping meat. If I collide with one of those dudes on the map, it just goes directly into an encounter. Got some gold there. And I will continue down this way, and let's see, how are we with time so far? We're doing okay. Let me think if there's anything else I need to tell you guys. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, fight enemies. Oh yeah, with armor, you can bash enemies' heads in, jumping on top of them. That's one of the skill perks that you get from leveling up armor and things like that. Okay, good. I got a ranged weapon here. Hit the select key to toggle between your sub slots up there. And let me see if I can find somebody to throw this into. There we go. In your face. And any item that you use, whether it be consumable, armor, weapon, whatever, it can level up. The meat doesn't gain any experience points. Neither do the fetishes just yet. Let's talk about fetishes real quick. Let's see here. A Gosen fetish. I'll use a Gosen fetish. Here we go. It exploded and it dropped a 1-up. Or a player fetish. And what that did was it decreased my favor from 2 to 1. Favor grants you the ability to find better gear and items. It's like your affinity with the beyond. In the game world of Savage, there are a lot of false and angry gods and spirits and things just kind of making life miserable for the poor denizens of the game world. And if you have a higher rating with them, better things will happen to you. Whether it's item drops or fighting a boss or a champion character, you have a better chance of inflicting some serious damage or scoring a critical hit. There we have knives. Real quick, I'll show you what sort of utility purpose that the knives also serve. So here I'm cycling between my items and things. Go ahead and use some health, even though I didn't need it. And one more thing really is the dagger jump. You can use the knives to create platforms for yourself by chucking them into wood, whether it's like a tree in the background or something in the foreground that's an impassable tile, to stick a knife into an object that's in the background or a passable tile. Hold up and hit the attack button just like you would when using a ranged weapon or an item. But don't release the up button. And wherever the dagger lands in a piece of wood, it will stick in there. As far as impassable tiles, impassable wood tiles and things, you don't have to worry about holding up to stick the dagger into the side of the thing. It'll just do it automatically. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, thanks very much, guys, for playing. Sorry for the length of the video. I tried to cram as much stuff into it as I could. It's all pretty standard fare for an action platformer, but just in case anybody got stuck or confused, yeah, there you have it. Thanks for playing. Hope you guys have some fun with it, and take care.